Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new week.
It is a new week. I feel like this is the last week of summer.
Is that true or you just feel that way?
No, because after Labor Day, summer's over.
When's Labor Day?
Next weekend.
So we have a long weekend?
Yeah.
Shit, man. I'm so bad at planning these things.
I planned a trip.
Where are you going?
I'm going to Cabo.
You're going to Cabo?
Yeah.
Must be nice.
Must be nice. Business is booming.
That means it must be not a Monday pod.
Uh-oh.
No, because no one's going to listen to pod on Monday.
That's true.
It's a Tuesday pod.
Yeah, you're right. Is it just, are you taking Dom?
Yeah.
Wow, vacay with
Family
Dom.
vacay.
Mom and Dad? Haley's parents?
No.
Just you guys?
Brian and Sienna.
Gosh, that's good. Good plan, man.
If you could still sneak in, you could get a flight.
Where are you staying?
Montage.
Okay. I'll look at flights in the morning.
Yeah.
Could use a good trip.
Yeah.
Anywho, we're on a podcast, not having small talk.
Yeah, take this to the group chat.
No, man.
The actual group chat, not the pod.
comfortable, yeah. Okay.
That's why I don't like to tell anything, because it's fun to just bring it up on the pod.
Yeah, I agree. This is our friendship.
Yeah.
A couple things before we start. Group chat is really turning into like an educational platform.
Apparently.
You got a DM, because I got one too.
Okay.
You got a DM from one of your friends?
Yeah, my friend Rafa, who listens to the pod. He's a sports agent, baseball agent. So he's always traveling. So he's listening. I've known him forever.
And he just got a great feature on The Athletic that we talked about a few weeks ago.
Paywall. I'm not going to see it. Sorry, Rafa.
As a great agent and all the things he's accomplished.
Freaking paywalls.
Yeah, you gotta screenshot that article, Rafa. I ain't paying that.
The screenshot, put it in your story, Rafa. Yeah. You know what I mean? Come on. break down that wall. You know? We're not,
break down that paywall.
Yeah.
We're not building walls.
I know where you're from, Rafa. You definitely should break down that wall.
No, you can be behind no walls, Rafa. Okay, and so what happened?
And so he sent me a screenshot that his wife sent him that his 13-year-old daughter, Bella, was listening to the podcast.
13?
Yeah. Shout out to Bella. That's why I was like, I need to clean up the cussing.
Holy cow. The stuff we say about like Jeffrey Epstein stories?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Bella.
Gonna learn it sometime.
That's funny though.
Yeah.
I wonder what would happen if don't you think that a 13-year-old starting to grasp a little bit about what we're talking about would just seem like a genius 13-year-old?
Genius.
Genius.
Bella's probably a genius.
If she went into history class tomorrow and said, I heard on the pod, rip this book up.
Yeah,
This is all
burn
BS.
these books.
Yeah.
Anand said, fuck these books. F these books.
I
You
mean,
know? I got a really angry message from some short-haired lady that looked very activisty that was pissed about the burn the history books thing.
Okay, wow.
I didn't even say
What's
it.
the take, though?
The take is, don't you realize this is how we got here is from people not listening to history? If you compare Trump's speeches to Hitler's, even the words he uses is the same. I can't believe you would say that. Number one, I didn't say it.
But that's not what we said.
That's not the point.
Understood.
The point is that information that we read in 2019, we have no idea when we pull up a New York Times or any article, are we getting what's really going on? Or are we getting what's not going on?
And the problem with, and here's a
so
real,
how is that going to be more filtered in the 50s and 40s?
I agree, and I'm going to say,
20s?
number one, I didn't say it. I just somehow caught your crossfire.
Yeah.
And this lady, I'm sorry because you're probably listening, but seemed very easy to piss off. Her message was like, I'm pissed about, like, come on, man. Everyone on this podcast doesn't think that Trump is good for our country. Trying to draw comparisons to the way they speak with him and Hitler is just it's just too much.
Well, and here's the thing. I think the point that we were making was, given that there's so much doubt in the information we get today, where we have, for the most part, fairly decent access to information as an individual.
Yeah.
You can do your own homework and figure out if you believe it or not. When you look at a history book that was delivering information that has, for the most part, we don't know the sources, we don't know how this information came about, and it's in the best interest of American history books to position America in a certain way.
Yep.
And so that's really where I think the challenge is. There's clearly, like, when you take things like the Holocaust, that's an atrocity. Like, we obviously are fully aware of it, and we know the impact it has, and we know the rhetoric that Trump says that people confused with Hitler and how they make those comparisons. I don't think no one's
it's obvious.
doubting that stuff. The stuff that we're doubting is that the information flow of today's news is just suspect.
Yeah.
There was just an incident on Twitter where they said there was a shooting at Topanga Mall. Just now, literally now. So our friend Mickey has a store there, Mag Park. So I text him right away. I'm like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "Well, yeah." He's like, "Everything's fine. It's pandemonium." He's like, "It was a smash and grab at Neiman Marcus, loud noise." Said it was. So then the LAPD posted it was a shooting.
Yeah.
So it's just how information travels so inaccurately today.
Plus, I just don't believe, like, you think in 1850, they're not saying, let's say it went this way.
Well, here's the thing. It's you could call it whatever you want. I call it propaganda. It's in the best interest of every country to position I guarantee you, if you went to Russia, Russian history books aren't saying anything bad about Russia.
Of course not.
Of course.
I mean, that's what's going on pretty much in
every country.
Yeah.
But I don't want to get lost on that because I think that's not a popular opinion. This was this one person.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was funny that I took Anand's beef.
Yeah.
The thing that I was going to say is I got hit up, and I'm going to butcher this, and I apologize because I don't have it on this phone, but mom DM'd me and wrote me a very nice message about how she has her 15-year-old son listen to this and Short Story Long.
Wow.
And that she truly feels like it's like really pointing him in the right direction. Like it was a very heartfelt message about the value that it's bringing her young son.
That's amazing. I mean,
cool.
If I really thought about it as a young person, and I would say young person meaning anyone under 30 that has access to this type of information, and not just saying us, but like just clarity on a lot of the topics that are happening in the world. It's important. You don't have to agree with it, but at least you get a perspective that's different than popular opinion.
Yeah.
And then if you look at traditional news, there's only two versions of it. There's a left version and there's a right version. Yeah. So that's not fairly accurate for anyone to understand. And frankly, this is more fun.
Way more fun.
We're giving you this. And no offense to anyone on CNN. I don't think anyone on CNN is smarter than me.
Fredo's.
You shouldn't.
I know. So like CNN, I definitely know I'm smarter than everyone at Fox News.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, those guys are dummies.
I mean, I don't think anyone's really.
But even at CNN, I listen to them talk, or even Bloomberg. I watch Bloomberg all day.
Or CNBC, when they talk about a subject that you're actually informed on, and you hear their takes, it's like insulting to the person that's listening that actually knows what's going on.
It's
but
like 60 Minutes.
Those people, I
agree with 60 Minutes. I think 60 Minutes is such a watered down version of
like they'll be like
issues. They do a great job of the high
topics
level
are
issue,
perfect.
High level issue, but they give the worst But
those are journalists. That's why podcasts are winning so much, is because people are sick of journalists. Those people are hired and get paid a lot of money because they know how to take what's coming in their earpiece while they switch to this guest, while they make eye contact. They're formally trained.
They're entertainers.
They're getting paid for that.
They're entertainers.
For example, when Uber had their earnings, they bring in Uber investors to defend their earnings. Yeah. Obviously, they're going to defend them. Why don't you just get an independent, person?
No, I would even something that all our podcast listeners can understand. When Revolve went public, Michael and Michael, the founders, CEOs, were on CNBC. I watched it. I videotaped it because I was just excited.
Yep.
They were just like, so influencers could sell clothes. I was just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
This is who you're having interpret a IPO.
Here's the issue. Also, we talked about this a couple of podcasts ago. It's like how the people in power don't understand how the world shifted.
Yeah.
Whether it's the CEOs of the big companies, whether it's the CEOs of media companies, how to communicate that information of what's actually going on. Because the most important companies in the world were all created in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And how are people that weren't part of this entire generation of like entrepreneurs and following the story, all of a sudden now all these companies are important and they have to figure out how to give a hot take and they give a bad take. And across the board, good and bad.
But that's
I
why,
still
like-
don't think any person like actually understands what Facebook's control of data is. They don't actually understand the monopoly
No.
Google has on ad spend.
Yeah.
And the way they talk about these businesses, it's just like, geez.
Yeah. Well, hey, here we are. Thank God. Let me just say this. Thank God that is true, because that's the only thing that leaves a lane for us, right? So
Yeah.
keep sucking, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
They'll
what I mean?
continue to suck.
Yeah, because they're beholden to
But that's why like
Getting
Barstool
guests
is
and
so
stuff, yeah.
incredible, right?
Right.
It's like you're not really
Barst-
Barstool should be ESPN now.
Yeah.
Barstool is
Will.
winning because ESPN's beholden to NFL rights, so they can't trash certain parts of the NFL.
Yeah.
They're beholden to NBA rights, so they can't trash parts of the NBA.
And Barstool is sitting there
And they're like, we
making
don't
a
care.
mockery of
We're
everything.
going to talk shit about all these guys.
Yeah, it's so good. Okay. The other thing, quick note is a couple weeks ago we had our friend Michael Katz on the pod.
Yeah.
He gave an incredible recommendation for a book called Reboot that had a big impact on him. I went and bought the book, read it. It is incredible. I reached out to Michael, said thanks for the recommendation. Great book. He put me in touch with the author, and I'm interviewing him this week for Short
Wow.
Story Long.
What's the author's name?
Jerry Colonna.
I
might
actually
have
just
messed that up.
saved. Michael posted on Medium an article he wrote about revamping his company's culture.
Yep.
I saved it. I'm going to read it actually tomorrow morning. But I'm curious. I'm assuming that book had an impact.
If you read it to me, I can tell you, or send it to me,
Yeah.
I can tell you.
Yeah, I'm
But
going to
yeah,
read it.
because it's a huge, I mean, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
But anyway, so really cool. So yeah, I'm going to interview him this week.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So thank you, Michael.
Yeah.
Okay. You ready for some news?
Last but not least, so I was talking to Omar Miller,
Yep.
who is
We
one of the stars of
forgot to-
Ballers.
I can't believe we left that out of our content.
No, that was a
recommendation.
big.
Yeah, and so I talked to him. I wished him a congratulations on a new season. And he has a new show on CBS called Unicorn Coming. And he had called me and we were playing phone tag because he's like, I got to come on group chat and talk about the new season of Ballers and his new show. So he's not going to come this week, but the following week he's off.
Great.
He's going to come in, talk Ballers, talk Unicorn.
Great.
And talk about all those things.
And
But-
cool moment, I was driving down La Cienega, and right before the 10 coming towards this part of town, stopped at a intersection. One side Billboard Ballers, the other side Billboard Unicorn.
Wow.
So Omar is winning.
Good for
That's
Omar.
huge. Nice.
Good for Omar.
So he'll be on.
Okay. All right, we ready?
Yep.
Who's hungry?
I'm
Anyone?
actually pretty full. I just had dinner.
Anand?
I'm actually hungry.
Okay, well, I just wonder if anyone wanted to head over to Jimmy John's and grab a sandwich, because it seems like a lot of people are canceling. And I don't know. I just didn't know if you guys were still in the market, if you guys like Jimmy John's.
So let me
do,
tell you
right?
something. If I'm going to rate all the QSR
Yeah, let's do that again.
fast food,
Sandoz only.
sandwich only shops,
Yeah.
number one to me is Jimmy John's.
Well, you're canceled. What else? Where's Jersey Mike's?
So Jersey Mike's I actually really enjoy.
Okay.
Here's my challenge.
Sweaty meat.
Well, I mean, I don't eat the meat.
The meat's sweaty.
No, so here's
What does
my
that mean?
It's just wet.
Why is it wet?
So I'll tell you where the Jersey Mike's issue is.
I don't know meat that well, but they got sweaty meat, man.
Meet and greet. You don't know meat that well.
It's sweaty meat.
I think the meat, I don't know about the meat, but so the one near our office, when it first opened, didn't have a separate slicer for cheese and meat.
Oh.
So I was standing in line and I was like, whoa, and I just walked away.
Damn, what if you just didn't catch that? Like, what if you said, hey, can someone go grab me?
LAX?
that?
Unfortunately, that's happening at every restaurant we go to.
Yeah, you're getting little.
I don't want to see it.
You're getting little.
I don't want to see it.
Yeah, that's true.
Out of
But
sight, out of mind.
You're definitely getting little bits of meat every day.
Dee's
Oh, yeah, all
eating
day.
bacon every night.
Yeah.
All
If you
day.
add it up, you're eating like
I don't
want
want to see it. I don't want to see it.
Okay.
When I can see it, I pass.
Got it.
Love Subway. Big Subway guy.
Weird.
Really?
I enjoy Subway.
is trash.
I enjoy
Subway, when
Jersey
you put
Mike's.
Doritos
also-
inside the Subway,
You're a pig.
it's unbelievable.
You are such a pig.
It's so good.
And they serve eggs.
Jimmy
24
John's,
hours.
and you know what the thing about Jimmy John's that I do love? I really hate that he kills elephants and tigers.
Yeah, we didn't
Oh
even
my.
get to that yet. Yeah.
But like, they are so fast.
Yeah.
In the one on Beverly Hills on Beverly Drive, I'm literally ordering. I'm like, I'll have a veggie sub, everything on it, water, and they're like, D,
Yeah,
I'm just like, what? How
Yeah.
is this so fast?
So of the 3 sandwich spots you mentioned, Jimmy John's undoubtedly has the best bread.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's also messed
I'm
up
gonna
because
get
you
one
guys
tomorrow.
don't eat meat.
Yeah.
You know, like
Wait,
you can't
can we
really
talk
judge.
about why it was canceled
Yeah.
first?
So we'll talk about it. But I just want to throw that in. You guys are only judging the meat, the cheese, and the veggies. The
bread,
the
cheese,
bread,
and
the cheese, the veggies.
Yeah.
The meat is such a big part of this puzzle.
Well, so what's your ranking?
Jimmy John's, Jersey Mike's, Subway.
Okay.
Okay, so here's the reason why we brought it up. This Jimmy John's looks like founder and chairman. This just chubby tan guy
Yeah.
is a big, like, exotic wildlife hunter.
Yeah.
And there's photos out of him not only like next to some like dead elephant or whatever. Is it an
Elephant, yeah.
Okay. But naked on the back of a boat, butt naked, straddling
Is this a shark?
a shark.
Yeah, I just saw this picture.
So of course, PETA, everyone, animal lovers, like the animal crowd is not a good crowd to start beef with.
It's crazy. He's bigger than the shark.
He's a big guy. It looks like he just tackled it and sort of subdued it. Fat guy.
Why are
Anyway.
you naked on a shark, you fat pig?
You fat pig. Like you gotta, he's just a fat pig.
I mean, he's a pig.
Like, how do you enjoy that?
He's just a rich old fat pig. Like that just happens. How much of that same mentality exists?
So do we?
Right.
So
It's like, look at me, I can conquer. Like, I'll fuck this shark. Sorry to the 13-year-old stepdaughter. It's like, you know what I mean? Oh, I'm a man.
I mean, yeah.
That's his equivalent of how the other billionaires are trying to go to Mars. He's like, I'm just trying to kill
I'm
sharks.
just trying to hump sharks.
Yeah.
Like, why do we gotta worry about space travel?
So as he can't. I mean, so the boycott Jimmy John is real.
Well,
It's as real as the Home Depot. No one's deciding on Monday.
Honestly, it made me think of ordering one. I'm not gonna lie.
No, so it encouraged you.
Encouraged me.
So the sales spike.
Because I was like, you know what? Because I haven't had
Jimmy
bread.
John's in a
No,
while.
I haven't had bread since like.
Yeah. You know that I didn't know that there is a thing. I don't know what the name of it is, but like where like anti-cigarette ads will actually make people want to smoke more.
It reminds you.
Yeah, there's like this thing.
Yeah.
So like sometimes this Me Too stuff could actually be really good for
What's
business.
another interesting one? This actually happened on the way here. There's a boycott Olive Garden going on
What'd they do?
because Darden Restaurants, the company that owns them, obviously donated to the Trump campaign.
Oh,
So now
God.
they're saying boycott Olive Garden.
You can't do anything if you're going to do that.
Honestly, Olive Garden is disgusting. Here's the thing.
Now it is, but
I have
man.
access to great Italian food,
Yeah.
and I would assume pretty much every major city does.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't live in major cities.
Yeah, okay, let me just say this. Now that I have been spoiled, Olive Garden sucks.
Hold on, you go to Valencia, 40 miles away. You think they have a
They have
Medeo?
Chi-Chi's. I'd rather have the Chi-Chi's.
They have a Chi-Chi's in Valencia?
Yes, I've seen it.
Good for them.
Chi-Chi's is fantastic.
Yeah, it is. Very
My
good.
point is, it was just such a big part of my childhood, and those all-you-can-eat breadsticks.
Did you know that Lifetime Pass is sold out? Remember we talked about it probably like
Yeah. a
What's
year ago.
that?
you pay $500, you get to go to Olive Garden
Unlimited.
for life.
Unlimited.
That's a great deal.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
Everyone who is concerned about their economic well-being should have bought that pass.
Too late. So I don't think, here's the thing. I personally, I'm just being honest. This guy's a fat pig clown. I don't care. If you're going to start canceling everything, you literally have no options.
Yeah.
You can't even go to frickin' Equinox. You know what I mean? I don't think it's going to have a real impact, but it is a very good reason for people to be outraged. I mean, I wish this would have an impact, to be honest. Like, I wish, like, this guy does deserve to be punished with the consumers' wallets,
Yeah.
but I don't think it will.
Yeah, it's just too hot of a chain. What do you think about this? So David Koch, one of the Koch brothers, passed away.
Mm-hmm.
Koch brothers, if you don't know, industrial family. Two brothers are worth, I don't know, $100 billion plus.
No one knows, which means they're probably worth more.
They're worth more. They're in chemicals. They're in food. They're in everything. They're just, pretty much heartland.
They're like deciding elections.
And
Like, you go to their house in Aspen, we saw it.
Yeah.
You go to that house,
Yeah.
they decide.
They decide, right? Very, very influential family.
What did he die of?
Cancer.
Okay. Because I was like, that's kind of young for a billionaire
Yeah.
to be dying.
79,
He's only
right?
79.
Yeah, the cancer will get you no matter what.
Yeah, and obviously a lot of people were speaking negatively on his death because people didn't like what he stood for. So here's the dilemma. This guy, they were pretty generous from a philanthropy standpoint.
Yeah.
They donated some like 100+ million to cancer research, maybe even more. I think that was just MIT. They donated that kind of money. Where do you draw the line in terms of like, if you disagree with that person, but he donated so much to a cause that affects humanity?
Yeah.
I think cancel culture is stupid.
Yeah, I think it's also like this, I don't know, man. There's this part of it that's just like, who cares? That's him. That's how he chose. Like, if you think that you're going to somehow, once again, if you follow that path of thinking, your goal is to then make the world revolve around what you like and what you don't. And so there shouldn't ever be some guy who got really, really rich, who does what he does, and he's not killing people. He's not like this horrible person that needs to be like eradicated. Yeah. Who cares? People are different.
He's just a racist. It's okay.
He's just... Is he an openly racist guy?
No, that's
I almost felt
he's
really
just
bad.
conservative.
I was like, listen, let him live. And then you're like, well, he says the N-word out loud. Like, well, shit.
He's basically just privately funded the Republican Party for the last like 50 years.
Got it. So like you're upset about that?
So speaking of that, content-wise, I want to remind myself of this. I started watching this documentary series on Netflix called The Family.
I heard it's good.
It is.
Luke told me it was good.
So it's about kind of like a boys-only religious cult, but they're not Christian. They only like Jesus.
What does that even mean?
You got to watch. It's weird. And they are very influential in deciding presidents. All over the world, leaders met with them. They're just an influence. I've only watched one episode, and I was like, this shit is weird.
But they don't have like a religious, that's not like
They read the Bible, but they only read the part about Jesus. It's just like weird.
Oh my god!
I gotta watch the whole thing. I'm giving wrong information maybe, but I gotta watch a little more to understand what's going on. But it's like, it's into this whole world where we think there's people privately deciding the fates of our lives, and this is playing into that.
I just want to also point out, for just like the no shit moment of the week, it's really easy for all that stuff to happen with the amount of people that don't vote.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like at the core of all of this, it's your average person that just can't be bothered to go vote.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's why I have a problem kind of listening to any of it. Because of course people can decide elections and stuff like that if your average person doesn't vote.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Anywho. Death Row Records.
Yeah. Death Row.
Legendary record company started by Suge Knight. A lot of history in the rap game. A lot of like brutal history and stories, and you know the gang affiliations and the beatings going on in music studios. You know, it was probably the most violent record label in the history of music.
Absolutely.
Has a proud new owner.
Yeah.
They have been bought by Hasbro, the frickin' toy company.
I would love a Suge Knight doll.
Toy?
Doll.
Yeah. With like a pair of brass knuckles and a Rottweiler. So apparently they're owned, Death Row's owned by a company called Entertainment One.
Yep.
Which is actually, I didn't really know what Entertainment One was, but it's a very successful independent.
Kids.
label.
Mainly kids.
Yeah, but then they bought what? They bailed Death Row out of bankruptcy.
For $280 million.
So that means that Suge Knight has like...
Unless that went to bankruptcy, then all the debtors got it.
Gosh. Okay, so Entertainment One owns Death Row. Hasbro bought Entertainment One. Now Hasbro owns Death Row. Interesting. I mean,
it's just kind of what's annoying about the way that it's presented is that Hasbro bought Death Row. No, Hasbro bought Entertainment One.
Yeah, it's fishy. When it's not fishy, it's just
a small portion of Entertainment One.
Because Entertainment One got bought for $4 billion, all cash by Hasbro.
And if they're buying Death Row for $300 million, that's nothing.
No, it's sub 10%.
Yeah. So, but the story looks cool. I mean, I like the headline. I thought we should take advantage of it.
Yeah, little kids just screaming West Side.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, just wanted to put that on everyone's radar.
But I mean, it was a topic that definitely went viral.
Yeah.
Everyone saw it.
It's just fun. To me, it's fun to like. There's so much of that happens. Like, there's so many people that you wouldn't guess.
Yeah.
It's really how I felt. Very different. But when I learned about New Guard and how they own the majority of Off-White and all the
Yeah.
Heron Preston, all these cool companies that didn't even have majority ownership.
Yeah.
You never know, like who. There's
Who
always
owns-
it always
yeah.
happens.
My guess is once his deal closes, they'll dump the asset. It's not core to their business. It's like
Probably still generates revenue, right?
but I'm sure there's a
Someone else will
line of
buy it.
buyers that would
Yeah.
buy it. It's
But
just
do
a
they- Do you think
distraction.
they still own all the masters of like all
Yeah,
those?
for sure.
Wow.
Yeah,
Those
because-
Tupac masters,
I know
Dr. Dre,
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Snoop Dogg.
those songs are gonna be played forever.
yeah. Okay, well, good for Hasbro. Maybe they
Yeah.
just quietly keep it and just let it generate cash.
Best rap album
licensing
ever
deals.
was on Death Row.
What,
I was
All Eyes
making
on
that
Me?
list in my head this weekend.
What's the best rap album?
All Eyes
ever?
on Me.
All Eyes on Me.
It's up there.
What's better?
I haven't really given my thought to it, but it's up there.
All Eyes on Me is the best rap album ever.
Man, I just
I can
just had
listen
the thought
to
of
top song 1 to the end of the disc 2, and I love
I mean,
all
it
of
is incredible. I'm not gonna. I want to argue with D, but I can't argue with Tupac.
Yeah, I think there are better albums, but I don't know what.
But
it would
Drama
be.
was from Ohio, not from LA. In the
If
90s.
he's gonna pick anything, it's the Eminem one, the first Eminem album.
That's better.
Slim Shady.
LP.
That's the white argument.
I would argue that for me in my life, there's a Drake album that's better. I just don't know which one
And
it is.
and
No
some-
way.
Yeah.
There is.
Drake, I love Drake, but he doesn't. I don't know if every song is great.
I'm gonna Seinfeld myself again. I'm just setting myself up for a week of hated
Yeah.
DMs. But it was growing up in Ohio, born in '86. It was
Eminem.
Tupac didn't.
Yeah,
hit-
I get it.
You were a little past because he died in '94, right?
Yeah, 94,
Yeah,
95.
Yeah.
So yeah, no.
You would have been
So for me,
seven.
it's Eminem first, like changed my life, and then I would say Drake.
Yeah, I expect you to say Eminem. I expect Pete to say Eminem. I expect Pete to say Russ.
No.
Oh my God.
Pete sang Asher Roth.
What is it?
Oh my God.
Ross
Little
is
Dicky.
terrible.
Oh,
No.
is it
Little
Little
Dicky.
Dicky?
No. No. You guys just have it
Roth.
all wrong.
Okay, who's your top album? White Boy?
2014 Forest Hills Drive by J. Cole.
Oh,
Yeah, that's very
That's such a good album.
that's very Pete.
yeah.
That's dead on.
God,
Okay.
I hate the
Okay, we're moving on. We're done with this.
All right. My question for you guys is, because you're the sportscasters here on the pod. What's up with Andrew Luck? So Andrew Luck, look, he's young. He's like 29.
29.
He retired kind of out of nowhere. I saw that he got booed off the field. Like, is this guy just over it? Like, what's happening?
This is really interesting. So Andrew Luck, for those that don't know, was the number 1 draft pick, I think 7 years ago.
Yeah, he played 7 seasons.
And he got drafted by the Indianapolis Colts, took over Peyton Manning's job there. He had one of the richest contracts in NFL history. He had a lot of injuries in his career, went to 4 Pro Bowls, which is the equivalent of an All-Star. And yesterday, mid-preseason game, I get a alert on my ESPN app. Andrew Luck has retired at the age of 29. He got the bag.
He gets to keep the bag.
Well, he gets to keep, like, of this most recent contract, like another $29 million. He's collected probably close to $100 million.
Yep.
And he always looked miserable playing. He went to Stanford.
But just some context, Andrew Luck was supposed to be on that Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers
Peyton
level,
Manning.
Peyton Manning, and he had some moments where he was that good. And to give kind of even more background, he went to Stanford, comes from a very well-to-do family. He is an incredible athlete, but he's also very smart. And there's so many stories about at Stanford how he was just like the nerd that just so happened to be an incredible quarterback.
Just a young Elizabeth Holmes.
Wow, I don't get the reference.
He went to Stanford.
That's it.
That's it.
So, anyways, Andrew Luck was an incredible NFL quarterback and has been battling injuries the last 4 or 5 years, concussions, lacerated kidney, like a neck problem.
He also just looked miserable.
torn
He
labrum.
just has a miserable vibe.
Torn-
His face looks miserable. He looks like a miserable person.
What damn.
Andrew has no luck.
Nice.
You like that?
That's a good headline.
But anyways, he incredible athlete, incredible. He's at the peak of his career. He's 29 years old. He's probably getting it. In theory, he would be getting into his next 3-4 years where he should just be absolutely incredible. if he's healthy.
Yeah.
And out of nowhere, in the middle of his preseason game, it starts leaking on Twitter. Adam Schefter, who's like the lead ESPN guy, says Andrew Luck's retiring. And that's probably not the way he wanted to communicate the message because the game was still going on.
Yeah.
And by the time he was leaving the field off the sidelines,
Everyone got the message.
and he got booed off the field.
So on their phones, like they're just checking social media.
I got it, and I remember I got like 5 text messages instantly. Andrew Luck retired. Andrew Luck retired. Andrew Luck retired.
It's a pretty shocking moment for sports fans. There's other athletes that have been pretty shocking too.
Like Barry Sanders.
Barry Sanders.
But I think it's sad that they booed him. Like,
no, and
It
he cried at the press conference after.
Yeah,
it hurt.
people are savages.
I didn't care for the booing. Like, football is one of those sports where if you got the bag, you move on.
But
Like,
I think this is going to be unique to this era of football. Like Gronkowski retired. He's 30 years old.
Yeah.
He got the bag. His back probably knows if he kept playing, he wouldn't be able to walk.
Yeah.
So he left. There were rumors this past offseason Odell Beckham Jr. wanted to retire. How old is he? 27?
Didn't Marshawn
He's
Lynch
no way
like
he's
retire
27.
and then
What
come
do you
back?
think? He's 26?
yeah,
Didn't Marshawn Lynch like retire and come back?
He retired and come back. But he's from a different era. I'm just saying this new, younger generation.
Yeah, football is stupid.
Yes.
Like, I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
know that it's fun to watch. I know it's like America.
I love to watch it, and
I
that's
know.
what
I get it, but it is so stupid. There's not one person that could retire right now that I would be like angry at.
Yeah, and I don't. Yeah, I think from a fan's perspective, it's ridiculous. These people are gladiators, and if they don't feel like it, they should leave.
But it's so funny. I think we're just in a new era of fandom because if this happened like 10 years ago,
Oh my god!
can you imagine? They'd be like, Andrew Luck's a pussy.
Oh, yeah. But you know how it works. It also works that like they boo him today, and then 5 years from
got a
now,
Nike
when
commercial.
well, yeah, that number one, have a Nike campaign. But when he walks back on the field 5 years
they'll
from
cheer
now,
him
they'll
on.
stand.
The Nike
and-
commercial, it goes, Andrew Luck went to Stanford, All-American, #1 draft pick. It's okay to give up. Just do it.
Just quit.
Just quit.
Feeling like that CTE's kicking in. Just quit.
Yeah, I mean, I think if any informed, educated person that saved their money,
Yeah.
quit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are you playing the next 7 years? You won't be able to walk.
Yeah.
There's there's stats proven that NFL linemen, for example, their life expectancy is like
Yeah, the
56
lineman's
years
the
old.
worst. Poor guys.
I mean, I just went and did this like brain scan where they scan the blood flow and the activity in your brain.
Do you have anything in there?
Literally nothing. It's just off. So like the goal is like, how do we turn this thing
Reboot.
on? Because exactly. So because years ago I had a head injury, but they showed me the scans from football players, and it's like nuts. It's really, really, really bad. Unlike
and the
anything.
thing
And
else.
everyone keeps arguing, okay, NFL had record ratings last season, right?
Mm-hmm.
College football had big ratings. So the game is more popular than ever. There's no doubt in my mind. I still wholeheartedly believe 25 years from now, the league will still exist, but I just can't imagine. I honestly, when I see an injury, I watched the college football started this weekend. It was Miami, Florida. I watched it. I saw this dude get laid out, and I changed the channel. I couldn't watch.
But that's the sentiment's changed over the last 10 years because 10 years ago everyone been cheered like, oh, that was a sick hit.
Yeah.
Let's
And
play that." and now everyone's like, oh, that guy might
But
not
it's
be able
gonna-
to walk.
Yeah, it's going to become. I literally think in 10 years it's going to be like bare knuckle boxing.
I think it's like prison fights.
No, but here's the thing: as long as there's poverty, there's always going to be NFL
Yes,
players.
but my point is, slowly you're going to lose.
The product's going to go down for sure.
Yeah, it's going to
Because-
become
yeah.
this niche thing. There's always going to be viewers.
Yeah.
But the thing that you can't even fathom is that when you watch like a bloody, crazy UFC fight, for the most part, that's still safer long term than football.
which is
Right.
crazy.
Because you're getting like a crazy knockout, but it's like this one hit. It's still not good at all. But you watch that and you're like, ooh, this seems kind of barbaric. Football, these guys are just bashing, getting little mini concussions all day, and you don't even know. You watch like 20
And
concussions.
the sad thing is, I'm like convinced whether it's this season, next season, and the season after, someone's going to die on the field.
Yeah.
And what's going to be the repercussion? Like, it's a fact. Like
Yeah.
the way these guys hit, the way how
They're
fast
stronger
and
than ever.
stronger. The linemen are as fast as the running back, which wasn't the case 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
Okay, well, listen, how can you be mad at the guy? But whatever, good for him. If you're a smart, dorky Stanford dude, that's sick of getting your brain beat around, he's probably just like, what the hell am I doing? And I have like $100 million.
Yeah.
And he's a smart guy. I'm sure he saved his money.
What if he blew it all?
There's no way.
We could read 3 years from Andrew Luck,
Well,
bro.
then he has-
Luck ran out.
The only way you want him to fail. Dee's already put his failed Nike.
He's one of the
campaign.
barbaric Americans.
Yeah.
Dee was booing Indianapolis. He put Indianapolis.
He was,
No, I actually was happy for him that he quit.
At least he's got a fresh 30 mil. So even if he
Yeah.
blew it all, he can start all over. Okay, next up, trade war. Let's talk trade war.
Yeah.
So Trump is at this G7 summit. Mm-hmm. He was asked about the trade war and kind of what his thoughts are and if he's sure of what he's doing. He said pretty much, no, not sure.
Yeah.
I've second guessed it. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of going for it.
You know what he said?
I have no plan right now.
And you know what he said? Yeah, sure. Why not? Might as well. I have second thoughts about everything.
Yeah, they said, have you had second thoughts? He said, yeah, sure.
And then he goes, do you have any regrets? And he goes, yes, I do have regrets. Not raising the tariffs higher. And guess what that did? Futures for Monday stock market plummeting already.
Yeah, we fell off a cliff on Friday, huh?
Fell off a cliff on Friday. We're going to start off the cliff Monday morning.
Yeah.
He's going to have to say something to rectify that. And then, he's proposing instead of a total of 25% tariffs that were supposed to kick in at the end of this year to 30. Here's what I'll say, because I had a lot of discussions about tariffs with a lot of different people. And this is also, I'm giving my opinion. I think putting pressure on China is actually a great idea.
Yeah.
And I think I haven't heard one business person that knows the consequences of China's power saying that it's a negative thing. It's just that it's so public that it swings the market. But maybe it could work. This is such a crapshoot. I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know if it's going to backfire. Who the hell knows? But there's a general consensus that the Chinese economy has benefited greatly from the American economy.
Well,
and so
it's a fact.
Yeah, so that's clear. But like they've also taken advantage. Everything from the currency devaluation. I mean, I generally, as someone that worked with Chinese factories all day, I'm all for the punishment. I'm sick of them.
Yeah, but
it'll be great for future generations.
But here's the dirty little secret that American companies take advantage of is that there aren't minimum wage laws. There aren't labor laws in China. So everything's be able to manufacture cheaper for American consumers because labor is just not treated the same way labor is treated in the U.S.
Sure, but there's
we're taking advantage of that as well. Like,
there's other countries that do that too.
Yeah, they're able, but they're just the best at it.
Yeah,
and they're able to do it at scale.
They're the best at child labor.
They're the best at scaled labor. There's no question.
Yeah.
No, but I just think it's funny how people have this moral argument.
I don't have a moral argument. I have a financial argument. This is not about a moral discussion.
It's funny
this is for Dom and Mav.
No, but it's funny how we get so worked up about labor laws in the U.S., but if it's a bunch of Chinese people getting screwed over, we don't care.
I never talked about that.
Oh, yeah.
I never.
No, I'm just saying that's just like it's just funny to me the way people talk about all these things.
Yeah,
like
at least
they'll
Dee's
rally
honest.
for the Amazon workers, but hey, if my T-shirt at H&M is $1 more expensive because some Chinese kids had to get food.
That's too advanced, though. That's too far to understand.
You know why I think that the reason why people aren't standing up for that? Because the Chinese government doesn't care.
No, they don't, but it's a humanitarian case.
I know, but the Chinese government doesn't care about their own people.
Screw it. Let the Amazon burn down.
Yeah.
Whatever, man. That's not here. Light a little fire in Minnesota and see how we freak out.
The world, in my opinion, is like we're in like a true globalization like state, meaning that everyone knows what's going on everywhere, whereas like 20 years ago, we didn't know what was going on in different countries. It's like so clear. So the same people who are screaming humanity here, why aren't you screaming humanity elsewhere?
But here's my question. If you really compared it to, let's say, 20 years ago, where pre-internet you truly knew nothing, there was actually even less consideration, right? Because now you see the Amazon's burning, the blah, blah, blah. Even though no one's actually doing shit, at least there are some people who pretend to care, right? So I think like probably...
Yeah, it does make an impact. It does make an impact.
My point is like I'm a outspoken capitalist, and I just think it's funny how people pick and choose their fights.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
I don't know if it's funny.
I wouldn't
I'm not
call that
laughing.
funny.
It's silly.
I'm laughing.
You're silly? Silly?
think
Would you laugh?
No.
You don't laugh when you're silly? I laugh when I'm silly.
Yeah, this is what happened. We just are in a time where all of a sudden you've been able to see what's going on in the whole world, and
Yeah.
some of it that's not even true. And so everyone's just outraged because they have this new access to all this information that's like, oh shit, the Amazon's burning? Who's going to stop it? China labor? Who's going to, you know what I'm saying? But no one's doing anything.
I don't care. Fuck China.
It's just fun to post about on Twitter. and
I mean,
look like an
I'm
activist.
a view of, as a American business, I don't like China.
Dees MAGA.
Yeah, geez, MAGA,
On
whatever.
China, I'm MAGA.
Hey, listen, so, I mean, they're pretty much just playing a game of chicken, right?
Yeah.
And if Trump wins, it'll be huge. But we just might pay the big price for it for the next...
Yeah, he may just
5
derail. Longer term, it's probably great for the future of America if America wins this trade war. Short term, it's going to hurt like hell because Chinese are not going to back down. They hold all our debt on top of that. I mean, there's just too many things at risk.
And the biggest difference is that the China government is effectively a dictatorship, so they can wait out the U.S., whereas Trump has to figure out how to get elected
That's
in
true.
November.
Yeah.
Or
And
a
even
year
if he
from
doesn't,
November.
they can still... I mean, you only have 4 more, and then the next person
Right.
for sure, unless it's another really aggressive Republican, which I don't think it will
Could be Junior.
So, God.
How insane would that be?
But here's what's
Junior
going to
wins.
happen,
if it
right?
went from the
Oh
Don
my
to the
gosh.
Junior.
And then Barron.
Yeah,
There's no way.
Barron probably still not old enough.
There's no way, but I would say 90% chance of what's going to happen is the next person is going to, if they haven't made progress on the China thing, they're going to unravel it all.
Yeah.
Because you want the quick favor of the country.
Yeah.
Get a spike in the economy, great. You're a hero, Bernie.
Well, China's, their arrests in Hong Kong are going nuts. They arrested people as young as 12 years old this weekend. And there's rumor that Chinese military is coming into Hong Kong this week.
So every weekend,
Protest.
1 to 2 million people are protesting in Hong Kong.
And it's funny is the Chinese government says it's 150,000. I
you
laughed.
laughing?
I actually laughed at that.
Got him. You
I laughed
read that
because-
story and laughed?
Yeah, I'll tell you why I laughed. Because it said 1.5 million on CNN. So I Googled it and it said Chinese government said it was 100,000. That's funny.
It's good. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
I laughed on that one.
Next up, big win for Ohio.
What'd you guys win?
Well, we had a tough, it's been tough. There was a big shooting there.
Yeah.
And in Dayton. And obviously tragic. Kanye West decided to pack up the Sunday service, fly on out to Dayton and do a little show for everyone for
Love it.
some moral support. I will say, as much as I've been a Kanye hater the last year, this is pretty good.
So this is in honor of the shooting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean...
Well,
and
Dave Chappelle, this is part of Chappelle's thing or no?
unclear, but Chappelle was there. Chappelle spoke. Chris Rock was there.
Wow.
But I love the idea of... I hate the idea of Kanye starting like a church that exists in L.A.
Yeah.
for Kendall and all her friends to go to.
Yeah.
But the idea of Kanye traveling around to these areas that might need some
Moral
hope and
support.
positivity
Yeah.
and doing pop-up shows,
That's
that's
kinda
pretty
dope.
sick.
If Kanye can just shut up
Yeah.
and just
Dribble.
shut up and dribble, I
Shut
think
up and hit the keys.
he
Playing
can
the piano, really.
let his wife do
He's
the
good at that.
let his wife do the talking for the family.
Yeah.
The wife is doing some very powerful things, and let Kanye be the artist that like we all have. I mean, I can't remember how many times I've listened to Kanye when.
I'm going to be honest, I would put College Dropout above All Eyes on Me in my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great album.
Because that was right when I was deciding.
College
that
Dropout
wasn't-
was actually in my top 5, but not number 1.
That's right when I was deciding not to go to college, and I was like, yeah, me neither, Kanye.
Yeah.
So anyway, but I will say,
So he
undeniably,
inspired you at a young age.
yeah, paid off.
But yeah, I mean, I think Kanye's power, emotional power over people. I mean, and I would say in my music listening lifetime, there's no one like Kanye.
No.
I've never met anyone, any young person, and you talk to them like what musician, especially I would say men, Kanye has such an impact on their youth or just their mindset in general.
Here's
He
my
gives you
question.
gives you that empowerment.
Big time. I think in a place like Dayton, I wonder if when he goes there, it's like all the, Kanye fans, streetwear people, all that stuff, like him. and if like the Trump people have a soft spot for him.
I think it's
I saw
anyone
an
because-
Indian take a selfie with him.
Really?
I'm sure the Indian.
I saw a couple of MAGA-looking white
I will
people in
say
the crowd.
though, it's Kanye West, Dave Chappelle, and Chris Rock.
It says big
They're
as it
not
gets.
coming to Dayton that often, so I think everyone's showing up, regardless of political affiliation.
It's too
Well,
big.
I mean, just for what it's worth,
Dave lives there.
Chappelle
right?
lives there.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like this kind of moment.
Yes. Okay, just wanted to clarify.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, the point is, all of his bullshit outside of music really annoys me, but you can't deny his musical
And
power and
what's-
doing that type of stuff.
Interesting in our little West Hollywood bubble, I heard that when Kanye was going off the deep end doing all the MAGA stuff, Dave Chappelle was the one that was kind of in the
Yes.
celebrity circles saying
He was
like,
calling everyone.
let's calm this, let's give him a pass.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle is
So he probably said, I called everyone, you're coming to Ohio.
yeah, and I also
wonder
think
how
I
many-
think
yeah.
Dave Chappelle is one of the smartest celebrities ever. Just listening to his when he does those when you know like the private show and you hear the way he thinks about things.
Yeah.
He's so future. You know, just I don't know. I was very impressed. I always thought his stand up was incredible, but like he's an impressive guy.
I'm staying up to watch that special tonight.
Oh, it comes out tonight?
Yeah.
What time?
I'm hoping 9. It comes out tomorrow.
And this is the material you think we've all kind of
It
seen
is. It
parts of
says in
Yeah.
the ad, I just looked, it
Yeah.
says talking about gun control, talking about celebrity scandal, talking about all that shit. So I think it's probably the slightly cleaner version of what we saw.
Okay.
But I'm hoping, I'm really banking on it coming out at 9 like music does.
Right.
Like when music comes out on Friday, it comes out at 9 p.m. here on Thursday.
9, I could probably sneak it in. Otherwise, if it's past that, no chance.
Midnight, I might not make it.
No.
Okay. How about this? T Swift. I'm not a fan. I don't think any of us really are a fan.
I'm a
But
fan
you gave her loser of the week and said you need to calm down.
because I didn't like the song.
I feel like you're a front runner. You saw these album sales.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
I was
You're
streaming
the
the song. I was streaming the album right when I saw this article.
D, let me tell you one thing, listeners, about D, is he is the most unapologetic front runner of anyone I know.
I'd love a good winner.
You will switch your team at the Super Bowl.
I did.
I know. I know.
Panthers, Broncos.
I went from Panthers. I went from Cam Newton dabbing to Von Miller.
Yep. Okay, so
and then texted Vaughn.
Yeah, it said,
With a picture of his
congratulations.
with a
Congratulations,
jersey,
we won.
You are a snake. Okay, so Taylor Swift's album just sold monster units, and she didn't lose.
It looks
Her
like it's going to be 700,000 albums, first week sales.
Sheesh.
Um,
I can't. Where are all the Taylor Swift fans?
I mean,
She's
every
just been-
girl.
I know, but she's just been gone off the radar.
They still like their music. They still like her. She's still very powerful in
She's a snake.
pop culture.
How's the
She's
album?
still a superstar.
Well, guess
He
what?
said he was blasting it, so.
How was it, D?
I don't mind the Lover song. She has a song called The Man, which is pretty much saying if she was a man, she would be more powerful, making more money, whatever.
Shut up.
I liked it.
I hate
I
that
like
type
that
of
song.
shit from people like her.
You're sexist.
She's so rich.
It's great for Drama's new pod.
Yeah.
Oh
You
my
should
gosh.
open with that.
I will open
By the
with
way,
that.
speaking of Drama's new pod, sorry to switch topics.
Yep.
Your bae, Tommy Lauren,
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
I was like,
launched a yoga brand
I saw. Bay's so
called
crazy,
Freedom,
you know?
right? Is it called Freedom? It's called Freedom.
Yeah, Bay's an entrepreneur. you
Bay's
know?
an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
She's just like, hey, if you want to bring a Glock to yoga,
Yeah.
come on down.
Of course. We listen to Short Story Long together, and we really just talk about business ideas. This is her newest one.
It's so on brand. It's probably going to crush it.
You really think so?
Yeah.
Freedom.
I mean, think about it. It's essentially kind of the niche that we were talking about, like a
course.
cool.
Like a MAGA yoga brand.
Why not?
I mean, if you're like a housewife that just loves MAGA and hates.
Like
colored
Roger
people-
Ailes' wife is doing yoga.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
you're talking
that's-
about half the country. That's what we keep like forgetting about.
I know, but
we
they-
think MAGA is like so foreign, but it's 50%.
But I'm saying, but so, here's the thing. And I'm talking about from a fashion perspective. I don't think.
Vineyard Vines.
But Vineyard Vines is like
Yeah, but they don't have a gun
It just so
holster.
happens that MAGA people wear it. I don't think they're a MAGA brand.
They just became that.
Yeah, it's just, but that's not, not their intention. They're a prep school brand, and that just so happens who goes to prep schools.
I don't think it'll work. I want to call early. I don't think it'll work.
Yeah.
I think it's ridiculous. But
It's funny.
I got a lot of texts about my MAGA rebrand. Well, one of our close friend, who's a very powerful agent, is ready to back me.
Okay.
Yeah, I won't say
I'm
what
telling you.
agency or who it is, but I already have an agent if I decide to commit.
I think if you went, oh man, and if you dated her if you guys did like a couples MAGA
Yeah, what if you
yoga
did
shoot?
the men's yoga shoot?
Oh yeah, we could do
You're
active.
boxing now?
Men's active. You have all those Grand AC blanks. So just send some over, put a little gun holster.
MAGA yoga instead of Maha yoga.
It's great.
Okay. Well,
You're
listen.
gonna want to hear this for the company's key product. As a personal protection tool, there's 9 pockets on the pants.
For 9 weapons?
With 3 specific areas for personal protection, tools such as pepper spray blaster, taser, stun gun, and a firearm,
to fucking
23
war?
ounces loaded or less, or anything else you might want to carry.
Oh my God.
These things are
Get ready for the
insane.
apocalypse in this thing.
If you see a girl wearing that, run!
Go the other way.
Don't ever hit on a girl at Equinox wearing that.
You're gonna end up on the dead or something.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. We got to move on.
Okay.
Here's a cool thing because we were talking a lot about the streaming wars and all the different strategies and stuff. Disney Plus, it looks like, is going to ditch the binging sort of feature, and they're going to do weekly releases. In my opinion, I think this is dead on, and I think that this will. I honestly think this will be like, Apple ditching the aux cord, where like it just causes everyone else to shift.
Yeah.
Because man, I think that binge thing is a real problem.
I think the binge thing plays into the addictive nature of our current behavior.
Yeah. And it takes away us being able to say, did you see what happened last night on
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah?
Yeah.
Because you're no longer on the same page with anyone anymore.
No, and I think, so Netflix does it with Patriot Act, where they release an episode every Sunday. I don't know if any other show on Netflix is doing that. But
think.
there's something, I don't binge watch shows like that because I don't have like hours of time. But I enjoy, I'm excited to watch one episode of Succession, then wait a week to watch Power, then wait a week to watch Ballers. I enjoy it.
But I think it's unique to incredible content. So, Game of Thrones, Succession, Billions, where there's such an engaged audience that can't wait for the next episode.
Yeah.
Whereas
So-
if it's just an average show,
So I
just
think
binge.
Yeah, but that's-
you know what I think Disney is betting on. So they had like their Disney Expo or whatever it was this weekend, and they kind of said what kind of exclusive shows they're going to have. They're coming out guns blazing.
Guns
Marvel,
blazing.
Star Wars, Lizzie McGuire, High School Musical. These are mega franchises, right? So they're coming out guns blazing with super high quality content. So I think they're like, we think we can win the quality war. We're not going to give you quantity.
Right.
We're going to win the quality war. And I think they could. I mean,
It's certainly possible.
Then you got Apple. I mean, I think it's going to shift Netflix. I think I would be willing to bet that in 1 year, just to be
Netflix
safe,
has weekly releases.
Netflix has weekly releases and is taking attempts at better quality. We know any business, think about any business almost, that just banks on decent product, but more, it almost always runs out.
Yeah.
Whether it's a marketing strategy or a sales strategy,
Yeah,
it almost
that's fair.
always runs out.
That's fair.
And especially when if you're playing now against Disney with incredible quality, and then Apple, I'm sure, is not going to have a bunch of shit. I don't know, man. I think that's going to work. I think people want to be able to binge if you give them the option. So they'll show you that binging is what they want, but they'd rather be excited about a television moment.
I agree. I think television moments.
I think the consumer wants everything. And the problem is Netflix spoiled us because we got all this content for free. Or not free, but we got so much content, and now everything's being fragmented, and the consumer's just going to lose.
Yeah. Okay, how about Barack Obama's summer playlist?
Hot. Here's what I was really thinking about. So he put out a summer playlist. You know, a lot of old songs, a bunch of new songs. He's got Old Town Road. He's got some Lizzo, Daniel Caesar. Like he's got all like the hit songs of the moment or hit artists of the moment, and then some old stuff. What I realized, you know, when you think about a leader, Donald Trump and Barack Obama, so very different leadership qualities, right?
Big time.
You may argue 25 years from now, people will argue on policy, on Barack's policies, Donald Trump policies, and I'm sure it'll end up being split. It'll be somewhere in the middle. If some people like it, some people didn't like it. It's really, leadership really comes down to how you handle yourself.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff in Barack Obama's policies that a lot of people disagree with. A lot of liberals disagree with.
Yep.
But the way he carried himself as a president and how relatable he was to the people is what makes him the most special president, I think, ever. And the fact that he puts out his music list, he puts out his reading list, he's just a person you can relate to.
Yeah.
And he humanizes the most powerful position in the world. And I think that's when you think about why people connect and why people are such powerful figures in society,
Yep.
I think of Barack Obama and how he went from like a state senator to the president, which is still like
That's the
mind-boggling to me.
Yeah.
And then obviously Donald Trump went from a reality star to a president, which is even more mind-boggling.
Yeah.
It's just that he took Donald Trump's approach, the way he handles because, by the way, I bet you if we really looked at it, we're going to be looking, when we look at his policies years from now, Ronald Reagan looks like way crazier than Donald Trump probably does 25 years from now.
Well, I would argue George Bush today looks crazier if you remove Donald Trump's Twitter
personality,
feed.
yeah.
No, you remove his Twitter feed
Yeah.
and his public statements. George Bush did way more harm to the country.
Yeah. Or Ronald
The
Reagan.
part that I don't understand is I've listened to or talked to really smart people that support Trump. And when they talk about why they support Trump, it doesn't sound, it's like, okay, cool. The part that I don't understand how any smart person could not bring up that is just a non-starter for him as a president is his leadership style.
His charisma,
And how
his lack
everything
of.
is so fueled by hatred and fear and borderline racism. And like, who cares about, and I know that like people might be like, how could you say this? Who cares about policy and all that stuff?
Yeah.
If you're like, these people know that's not how you run a company. That's not how you run a sports team. That's not how you run, nothing runs well like that.
Depends on the team.
True. But that's, no one has been successful
No.
over time with that sort of, I just don't understand it. In my opinion, all of the outrage culture, all of the just craziness that's going on and these protests versus protests in Portland, that's all because of Trump's wild, hate-filled behavior, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the challenge that people won't realize, even if you're a conservative, you're a Republican, you didn't vote for Barack Obama, the guy was just a born leader.
Yep.
His charisma and how he brought people together, that's what presidents are supposed to do.
And he's still not even taking cheap shots. If you think about it, how much Trump continued to just shit on everything Obama did, he doesn't respond.
I'll tell you what, though, I wish he would put out better content.
Did you watch The Factory?
I started it. It looks so bad.
Yeah.
I think the content thing might be rough for him.
B.O.,
It's
holler
like,
at
bro,
us.
you're out here
you know
listening
what?
to
B.O. should sponsor us.
Maybe he should take us.
Put us under the production wing.
We're too edgy. B.O.'s clean.
What?
B.O.'s he doesn't touch anything. We say some crazy stuff. We talk about brown people and get behind your wall. And, you know what I mean?
We're allowed to. We're
telling
brown.
a guy Rafa he can't use a paywall. You know, B.O. doesn't stand for
B.O.
that.
doesn't want to be part of that.
But you know what I
I don't know if
noticed?
he wants that third $15 million house, he might.
Yeah.
Holler at us. I'm not saying I'm not game.
Yeah.
The one thing that I noticed that I just want to point out because it hurts me and it hurts, I'm sure a lot of people. I didn't see Kendrick on the list, and he's a big Kendrick fan. But the fact that Kendrick just hasn't put out music in so long, it's like, come on, man. This is why we need you. We need you for things like this because we need Barack to say, my favorite song right now is this Kendrick record about whatever.
Right.
It's important. Until then, We'll take frickin' Lil Nas X.
He's just too rich, Kendrick.
There's no such thing. Meaning, Kendrick's a guy, like, I think Kendrick's really in it for the love of the music.
Yeah, he's an art guy.
There shouldn't be a price that would keep him out of the game.
Maybe when you get rich, you forget about art.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Yep.
Okay, last but not least, I want to send us off into the week with a true American hero. And, you know, for a little bit, I thought maybe he would be our next president, but I haven't heard any rumors.
Yep.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Love him.
Came out with Hobbs and Shaw. There was actually a lot of controversy about Hobbs and Shaw, beef with Vin Diesel and the Fast and Furious crew, and
Yeah.
screw you, it's never going to work. This thing not only worked, it is crushing. They had a $102 million debut in China,
Yeah.
and that puts them right at around 600 million globally.
That's insane.
So
I'll
what
tell
do
you what
believe of the
people love.
numbers?
What?
So what do we believe of the numbers?
I think it's big either way.
Either way, it's big, and it's more like, to me, a testament of like,
One, the franchise, anything Fast and Furious related.
but people just love like muscles and fire and
Yeah.
fast cars.
I'm not gonna lie. I've never seen a bad Jason Statham movie, ever.
I don't know that I've seen many Jason Statham
I've seen them
movies.
all. They're incredible.
Yeah, but you have a soft spot for these shitty, like, just.
Yeah.
But whatever. Listen. Guns, explosions, fast cars, muscles, still in.
Yeah.
Does it seem to you guys like comedy films have been suffering in the last few years?
What about the movie that just came out, the kids movie, the good whatever,
Good boys.
Good Boys?
Yeah.
Did that do well
I don't know, but it seems a little Michael Jackson-y.
with the young kids cursing?
Just like young kids,
I
like
think-
finding boobs.
What is the
and,
great
like, I don't
last
know.
comedic film?
That's what I'm saying, right? Like, so you get like you get the Kevin Hart. By the way, I went to Delilah last night, walked right in the door, right into Kevin Hart. He was there. They made him wait for a table.
How short is he?
He is insanely short.
Who was he with?
Just him, his wife, and a security guard in the corner.
I mean, like how short?
At 4'11".
Why is he waiting?
4'11"?
He's really
They
short.
probably couldn't see him.
4'11" is ridiculous. I think
What's
he's
he
probably
doing waiting
he's probably
for a table?
he's probably 5'2".
He needs to. Kevin, holler at me. I'll get you a table faster
He's
then.
probably 5'2". But yeah, waited. It was waiting at the bar for 15 minutes. Had to get people were running up on him like, "Yo, man, you're so funny," and like whatever. We were standing right next to him because I also had to wait, but I wasn't mad because Kevin Hart had to wait.
Damn, I would have been pissed if I had to wait.
Yeah, but it was just him and his wife on a date night. Anyway,
Here's the part. You know why I think comedies aren't big anymore? Is I think different people find different things funny, and that's what it really comes down to. Is that
but
like
that was different from before.
no? Because we didn't have as many choices in what we find as funny. It's the same reason why brands aren't big anymore. I think action is very different, where it's like there's only one type of action: bigger the better, bigger explosions, guns, whatever. Yeah. But comedy, there's black comedies, there's romantic comedies.
But you're telling me
there's
like
there's just different.
the Wedding Crashers. Like everyone thinks that's funny. The Hangover.
Sure, but like that
40-Year-Old Virgin.
If Hangover came out today, it wouldn't be the movie it was.
Yeah, but there's
It
a
wouldn't
new
be.
version that could be.
No, I don't think so. Because I think we all have like our option to find there are certain movies for certain groups of people that they find funny, and that's
But
it.
comedy specials are hotter than ever.
I mean, not all. I don't think they're as big as they used to be.
Or is it that comedy's so easy to find on social media? Like
That's
you can just,
kind of like what he's saying, and I
you just
agree
go to
with
like
that.
memes and stuff and YouTube, and you can get your laughs, but you can't get a rom-com in a 1-minute Insta story.
But I
Like
don't
those
feel like
Popeye
anyone's-
chicken memes are amazing.
I don't feel like anyone's even tried. Like,
Who could try?
I'm just saying they're not even taking shots.
I mean, movie wise,
Yeah, like what's a Steve Carell, Will Ferrell?
they're crickets, bro.
Steve Carell's not crickets. He's just doing that Apple show. The morning show.
It's not comedy.
No, but he's a good actor.
He I think
He want to be
seen as a real actor.
Yeah.
I get it, but like go back. Like still you can do both.
I like Paul Rudd.
He's great.
Great, he's great. Where the fuck is
I
he?
love Paul Rudd movies.
Where is Paul Rudd, man? I love Kevin Hart, like really love him.
Yeah.
But like I'm kind of tapped out.
But his shtick is the same shtick.
I know.
And so you either enjoy it and you keep doing it,
But
or
give me a great American comedy. That's my favorite genre of movies.
You got to go watch old movies. Old movies are hysterical.
I've seen them
because they
all.
also can say anything.
Yeah, you can't get.
You can't say anything.
That's also true. In
That might be
today's
part of
comedy
it.
era, you
You
can't.
can't be funny.
I think that's going to shift. I think I would also like to make a prediction. I think this Dave Chappelle special is the start of like it being accepted that the shift is happening.
Well, he's the biggest thing in comedy.
Yep.
So if he says so and he just starts dropping the words that we're not allowed to say anymore, it will come back. But he has to be the one to do it. No one else can get away with it.
It makes me sad. I feel like we need comedy more than ever right now.
I do, and I think
we need Kendrick Lamar and comedy.
There
and we're
will,
not- I
there
don't
will
have
be
either.
young comics who just. I see how kids talk. I saw a clip. Someone was sharing their video game, when they play, and whatever. I screenshot. I zoomed in to the chat.
Yeah.
Dude, kids are talking crazy.
Oh,
in
kids
that.
are wild.
That's how comedy should be.
But think about this. This is what I don't get. When Eminem came out, everyone hated him.
Yeah.
It was on the news. It was everywhere. Like, this
Yeah.
is toxic for your children. Do
Yeah.
not. But that was good. Like, that was marketing. Someone needs to do that. Like, there's a perfect time right now to have a movie that's like, this needs to be canceled. This is terrible, and it's the
Right.
biggest movie ever.
I agree. Hobbs and Shaw it is till then.
Gosh. Until then, it's like, great. The Rock is on an impressive amount of steroids. Okay. That's all we got.
Okay.
Guys, listen, thank you so much. Head on over to Young and Reckless too. We're still going through this whole week.
Last day?
This whole week. We'll go up
great.
until Friday for the 10-year sale. It's a different sale every day.
Those numbers look bonkers.
That's why maybe I might join you in Cabo. And I will say, I'm working on it right now, but the video, I'm going to put it out probably Tuesday. I had the really good ones with Fantasy Factory and Rob. I have one on Tuesday that's the history of our partnerships with up-and-coming artists.
Oh, wow.
That even-
I was waiting for that because I was like, why aren't you posting all the pics? Because it's such a major flex.
Yeah, I want to hit week one, like, here's the TV, here's the silly beginning.
Yeah.
All the funny throwbacks.
And then boom.
Week two is boom, don't forget who you're working with here.
Yeah.
And then the final day will be where we're headed in the future.
Yeah.
But man, this video,
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I know this sounds braggy, but it shocked me.
Yeah.
Like watching it all together was like, whoa.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that'll come out on Tuesday. I'll wrap it up on Friday with where we're headed
Okay.
in the future. And thank you to everyone involved. And hopefully you sponsor a trip to Cabo for me next week. Anand got to research child brain issues.
Yeah.
I got a trip to Cabo. So
Either way,
we're different
everybody
levels.
wins.
You're Barack, I'm Trump. So, okay. All right, guys. Have a good week. We'll see you
Okay.
Wednesday.